It would appear that I'm live. I can hear myself, so you should be able to hear me. Let's get started. So I wanted to talk about calories today. The calorie warriors are everywhere still. So I wanted to do a clickbait title on this live stream. I'm so sick of the calories in, calories out nonsense. People act like we're a car, or people act like we burn food in the body. Like that's how they figure out calories, is they burn it in a box and then they see how much is released. I forget the exact process, so I'm sounding ignorant right now, but the ridiculousness of this whole calories in, calories out is absurd. It's like they feel like a human being is a car and you're filling it with gasoline. Where's my hand? Gasoline. And even if you were to overfill your own gas tank, what would happen? Would the cars just suddenly start storing it on like maybe the door panel or something? No, it just pour out. So what the reality is of this whole thing is it's energy, and what does your body do with it? Can it break it down, or can it not? Or is it really toxic? And if it's really toxic, then what does it do with it? What is fat? What is extra watt? Fat loss is purely hormonal, not CICO. You really have to look at the process of what the body does and how little the body actually utilizes fat. I think the heart and a couple other things are the only thing that actually use fat. So you have to look at this as the body is way more complex than a car. It's not a gas tank that you're filling up. Like even another example of this is I just made this smoothie here. It was mangoes. It was overeat. This is oversimplifying everything. Overeating what? What does that mean? How do you know that? These thoughts and this process is like, it's like Mark Twain used to say, it's easier to fool somebody than teach them that they've been fooled. It's this unit of something that this construct that they created probably back in the 70s or 90s. And ever since it's been around, people are getting fatter, fatter, and fatter. It is your body's ability to utilize what you ate. Your body has no reason to be heavier than it actually is. So it's not going to just randomly store things. What fat and what extra water is inflammation. It can't be in the bloodstream, so the body has to store it. That's what's going on. That's why when you go on fruit and sugar and candy and fizzy drinks and stuff like that, it has a storage unit for that. It's the muscles and the liver. So it's going to start storing that there. When you eat, like even starch, for example, starch turns into a glue, and then it starts getting stuck in the intestines, and then it can't utilize everything like it's supposed to. And then it starts getting hungry, so it asks for more food. And then eventually it gets too toxic, so then it starts storing stuff in the fat. Whereas with fruit, you can literally eat, like if we really need to go to calories, 3,000 calories of fruit and 3,000 calories of, I'm not going to use potatoes because potatoes don't turn into a paste, but rice turns into a paste. Matter of fact, the shamisen guitars that they use in Japan are literally held together with rice paste. All they do is they liquefy, or they mash down rice and they use it as a paste. So this turns into a paste in your body. And if you are over toxic, if you have too much toxic load, it has to store it in the fat, because if it's in the bloodstream for too long, it will be too toxic for the bloodstream, and you unalive yourself basically. So it's not the calories you eat; it's your body's ability to break that down. Like Cheetos is not the same thing as a banana. And another thing is, I am dropping the bananas out of my diet because I have noticed that I don't lose weight as quickly as I used to with them. So I don't know what they've done to bananas. I've been saying this for a long time about bananas, is they don't ripen like they used to. I've got some sitting over here. So I'm freezing all the bananas, and I'm just going to have like 1 or 2 a day. I went from 422 pounds down to about 225 pounds using nothing but bananas, watermelon, and mango, and then salads at night. because I was losing too much weight. I had a salad with avocado in it at night. It's not the calories. You can't even count on the calories, because when I was cutting up those mangoes earlier today, 2 of them were super sugary. One of them tasted like tart, like it was so bitter. It was ridiculous. There is no way that has the same amount of calories, and it's not really calories anyways, it's energy. So how can you say that you're overeating? How do you know that? You don't, I mean, when they tested the calories on me, it was a process. I was on a treadmill. I had this thing on my mouth. They had some thing around my head, around my chest. I think there was something on my wrist. It was a process. So like trying to prove that you're overeating, like it's not that. It's what your body's doing with. Is your body so toxically overloaded that it can't break anything down? And how long does it take to get out of the body? This is why when people go on carnivore and keto and all that, it starts like the body just, it doesn't even start. Like when Arnold Ehret used to talk about this before he, had his accident, that meat doesn't really allow the body to detox. So it looks like you're healing yourself, but you're really not. You're just getting worse, but you're getting more slender. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is the calorie thing. I mean, people have this in their minds so much. It's insane. It's insane. You cannot. I grew tomatoes. I grew watermelon. I grew cantaloupe. I grew cucumbers. I grew a bunch of stuff in my garden when I was in Cleveland with soil that came from my father's compost that he had been composting for like 20-ish years. The stuff that was coming out of that was insane. I had so many fruits we couldn't even eat it all. We were having to sell it. But when you ate it, it was pure sugar and salt. And that's another thing. I've been having watermelon at night, and I noticed the next day my weight is kind of stagnated and I'm craving salt like crazy every time I've had watermelon. I remember Dan the man used to say that you should have a salt on top of the watermelon and with some lime on it to digest it correctly. The whole thing with this calories is driving me. All I see in the comment section is calories. It's like I'm watching fake news. It's like you've been told this about this. It is so much more expansive than the calories. It's crazy to me to watch this. And I know I sound like a lunatic, but it's impossible. It's impossible to know how many calories are in something. A chronometer is not testing every mango or every banana that you eat. Now, as far as bananas, I don't know what the hell's going on with these bananas. Everybody thinks they're full of starch. I eat them when they're ripe. Supposedly when they're ripe, it's about 1% starch at best. Sell it? Sell what? So the whole thing is driving. Lime juice is absolutely delish with ripe watermelon. You sold food? Yeah, we were selling. There was a local market. We had so many tomatoes, cherry tomatoes and regular tomatoes growing that we couldn't even eat it all. We started freezing it. We still couldn't even freeze it all. The soil that we were using to grow, I was using to grow this stuff was, we use a Briggs test and it was a 25, a tomato, a 25. I think they're usually like a 5 out of the store. It was crazy. So when you grow this stuff, you can't compare that tomato to a tomato that you buy in the grocery store because they're not using that soil. So it's an impossibility to use this calories in, calories out as a thing. It just is. Even these, they probably, like if you get a juice, they probably have to test it maybe every day. So they have a better estimate. But anyway, that's my spiel. Damn, 25 on a tomato. 25? Yeah, it was a 25 on a tomato. I was like, I'm telling you, when you ate one of these cherry tomatoes, all you could taste was sugar and salt. It was the best. I don't even buy tomatoes anymore. I got ruined on tomatoes because these tomatoes were insane. I mean, and we were growing purple Cherokee. We were growing the orange one, a little bit of the red. The red's the most unauthentic tomato, technically. The originals were purple and orange. Man, were they good. I mean, they were so good. Oh, we grew zucchini, cucumber, watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew, and then all those tomatoes. I mean, tomatoes. I had so many tomato plants that you could it was like the size of like the area was like the size of a car. I mean, there was so many tomatoes growing. It was insane. And this is in the city too. I can only imagine what I could do if I had like a lot of land. So the calories, but I haven't watching my weight. I've lost another pound or two. So I'm down to 274. I have noticed that when I have watermelon in, it does stall a bit. So I might not have as many watermelon. I have knocked down the bananas as well. So I'm not eating as many bananas. We'll see how this goes. But I did add some sugar to this because that one mango, I mean, I didn't want to waste it, but man, it tasted like nothing. All right, these comments. Overeating is a problem with CICO. Okay, in and out. There's more harm in overeating than undereating, in my opinion. Overeating what? Like, how do you know you're overeating? Like, this is one of those things that the government uses, like, to beat people down, like in fear mongering and stuff like that. Well, you're overweight, you're lazy, blah blah blah. You do nothing. I mean, it's just these mongering things. Just joined live. Is sugar fasting working for you on the scale? Yeah, I mean, I've lost weight. Yeah, glad to hear someone else talking about the heart and fat oxidation. I just did a video on the calorie foolishness. I'll post it tonight. It's nuts. It's all about what the body can eliminate and what it can't. You really have to look at that. For thoughts on the poo diet? I have no idea what that is. Carb ramp up the metabolism. Speaking of ramping up the metabolism, my hair is growing like crazy lately. My nails are growing like crazy. I mean, I'm not complaining too much, but getting your hair cut's like $80 a piece. So, like, not that I'm complaining. I'm glad I have hair. Lipotoxicity slows down weight loss. Yeah. I missed the beginning. Do we have progress? I didn't really get progress. I'm down to 274 for today. But I definitely know that, like, there's fat coming off because my clothes fit different. Ever eat orzo? Not in a long time. It's so nice with spicy sweet garlic, tomato sauce. I add sugar to the tomatoes. I haven't had it in a long time. If this stops working, try to experiment with super high fiber wheat bran 40. No, I'm not going to do that. I've done everything that there is with starch. I increased my calories in approximately 500 per day for the second half of the month and did a little less exercise and lost more weight than the first half of the month on way less calories with more movement. Thank you for saying that, because that's another the first thing people do. Nobody DMs me anymore on Instagram, which is kind of beautiful, because for a long time I was getting women who were either in relationships or had husbands who the husband wasn't performing and they wanted me to do that. And I'm like, no, that's not my thing. So my DMs kind of got really weird for a while. But when I did get a lot of DMs, I was getting DMs. The first thing people tell you is how much exercise they're doing. I'm like, why are you doing all that exercise? Like, are you training for the Olympics? Like, why are you doing it? And then they try to eat as little calories as possible. I mean, this is so taxing on the body. It's ridiculous. That's creating more toxic load on the body. It's about creating less toxic load on the body. That's really what it is. Eat the salt. Panicking over water weight is reactionary. Losing water is easy. Fat isn't. Lime juice is absolutely delicious with ripe watermelon. I have not actually done it to my recollection. Oh, shit, where did it go? Damn, 25 on it. Yeah. If banana is working, then run with it. I haven't tried adding them in yet. It was, and now it's not again. They have done something with these bananas. I know they have. Because they don't ripen like they used to. They just don't. And they don't taste as good as they used to. CICO fucks up when they add the fat and ruin the extra volume they could have had from carbs. Purple Cherokee. Yeah, those are amazing. If they're good. If they, like, unless they taste like water. Wouldn't it be practically impossible to induce a heart attack on a diet containing no cholesterol and barely any saturated fat? I don't think the mechanism would be there. I don't know. I think we have so little actual information on what actually causes a heart attack. I mean, having clogged ventricles is obviously not great, but I don't know if they've actually proved what causes that. I mean, cholesterol, maybe, but I don't know. Plant-based, of course. Are you going to collab with the Fabulous Body? He keeps asking me and then just doesn't get back to me. And it's definitely the New York way. Imagine if you get, I mean, that's just the American way anymore. Imagine if you get on finasteride 2 now, you're going to be Conan. Is that a drug? Overeating equals eating beyond satiation, eating food until full. The Okinawa said eat until 80% full and push yourself away from the table. I don't give a shit. I don't here. I'm not Okinawan. Like I don't care. Maybe. But I don't know how you do that, actually. I mean, I know there are people out there who do that and they're like food competition people, but I mean, there's times when I've had like 3 of those gummies and I can't even eat anymore. I don't know how you overeat on carbs. I just don't know how you do it. You get to a point of like you don't even want to look at it anymore. But that happens before getting stuffed. I've just added orzo pasta with tomato sauce to my sugar fast. Hopefully it works. Shave your head. It's free. No, I like having my crazy hair. You exercise. You just lose willpower you could have used for keeping the diet strict. Go through your breakfast, lunch, dinner. Fruit. It's just fruit, whatever fruit I got. I will say that if you're using frozen fruit, Goya seems to be the best because they don't use preservatives of any kind. I don't know why the hell you would use a preservative when you're freezing this stuff. They are putting this absorbic acid on everything. What do you think about saunas? Yay or nay for weight loss? I don't think it's a good thing for weight loss, personally, but try it out. I never had any luck with it. It's just kind of hard to conceive vegan with zero saturated fat and cholesterol and diet having a heart attack and dying. Well, didn't that mango guy have a heart attack and die? Wasn't he raw vegan? I mean, it's not strictly going to be from fat. I'm pretty sure he had a heart attack and died. And his wife, I thought she was in her 80s, but I guess she's only in her 60s. I don't really agree with this living strictly off of fruit. I think that's not good either. And a lot of these fruitarians think that drinking water is not needed. I mean, how many of them have died because of that? What's absorbic acid? It's an acid that's made from mold or bacteria. It's this black stuff in a petri dish. It's really nasty. Want to go back to sugar and fruit all day to shred some more. It really does work quick. It really does. I'm just figuring out which fruits I like the most. I bought 30 mangoes today, and I washed them. I've used 3 of them so far. We're unfortunately coming to the end. We're unfortunately coming to the end of the yellow mango season. I mean, I know it's technically runs till August, but they usually taper out in June. She's only in her 60s. Yeah, that's what she said. I was like, holy shit. I mean, these people look terrible. I would not want to live off fruit only. It's definitely possible. I just think that it drops chances massively, I don't know. I can't really agree to it. Like with the heart attack stuff, I don't know. I don't believe that you can lengthen or subtract from your life at all. I think you come here with a death date, and that's what day you die. Not on all fruit, probably. No, he's a fruitarian, and he died from a heart attack. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. He was a fruitarian that died from a heart attack. I'm pretty sure the other one too, that skinny, like Russian woman. I talked to her like 2 days before she died. His wife shared that he regularly ate durian and avocado, whole meals, like regularly. Seemed like he was smashing the fat with high sugar. He apparently had clogged arteries. I just can't see how avocado and durian would really do that. What she hasn't talked about is the fact that he refused to drink water. Canned mangoes and bottled mango nectar. I have not had canned mango. Oh no, I did. I had them one time. They're way too expensive. It's $5.29 for one can, which is only one mango, and I could get a fresh mango for like $1. So I just buy the fresh mango. Now I know you can't have mango year round that tastes good. I don't like the green red mangoes at all. So once the yellow ones are done, I'm pretty done too. That too, no water drinking. That is the one thing that these fruitarians all have in common is they think that they're getting all their water from the fruit. It's just not a thing. I said to a Misfit Vegan the one day, I said, why do you think humanity has built around water sources the entire existence? It's because we need water. You don't think you can lengthen your life? No, I don't. And you can't prove that I'm wrong or right. What if someone only eats McDonald's versus the same person who eats a healthy vegan diet? It doesn't matter. You came here to do something, you did it, and you leave. Everybody thinks that they are God, that they can create this stuff. Like, you are leaving when you're leaving. Socially, our choices can increase. No, I don't believe that. I think it's nonsense. Mango didn't drink water. He ate dense fruit like mamai, sapote, durian, avocado, no watery fruit. Do you think sugar fasting could be hard for obese people since fat in your blood from lipolysis slowing down the metabolism? I tried it and installed somehow after a week. You're going to have to play around with what you're eating. Hey, just getting home. Hey guys. Hey. You okay? That's what you're in Queens. I live off the F and the G line, so maybe we should do something somewhere. I don't know. Can you get to Williamsburg? Maybe we can meet up there and do like a video or something like that. But yeah, I don't think that there's no life like line expectant, or like you can't change your lifespan. You're here for a certain amount of time and that's it. So if I quit smoking, it doesn't increase the chance I'll live longer. No. If you quit smoking, that was something that you were going to do. So you did it. We have these thoughts of doing these things for a reason. Like it's there because you know that you're supposed to be doing. I would love to collab, of course. Yeah, let's make that happen at some point. Soonish. Yeah, I can take the G train up to Williamsburg. I'm not on the G very often, unless I'm getting to JFK. So anyway, that is my video about calories. I mean, really got to look at just your body's ability. That's so close. I just dropped 3.2 pounds the last 2 days, and these are the final hard pounds. It's awesome. Yeah, you are looking pretty good, and your diet is much less strict than I would think. Laugh out loud. The thought has nothing to do with it. Okay. You can claim that. You can think that you're going to somehow extend your life. Good luck with that. Durian Rider, you have to take the action, but you're eventually going to. Durian Rider pound starch too, not good for fatties. I don't really think once you're a skinny weight that starch has anything to do with it. FGF 21 is also already elevated in obese people. I think sugar fasting might only work for people who are already lean-ish to get thinner. That's just absolutely not true at all. Cole has people that are like 600 pounds doing this. I was 422 pounds when I did raw vegan on bananas, dates, melons, and mango. That's just you're making up lies right there. These studies ruin everything. Pretend there's no study on the planet and just eat this stuff. Exactly. Sugar, meat, and low starches. I think it might just be calories, to be honest, not starches. Again, these calorie blinders come up. The nonsense with these calories. I'm by the D line. I know I've been on the D line for something, but it was in Manhattan. Are you in Manhattan? I'm already lean on starch. Worked for me. Yeah, it works for some people. I think it truly depends on how toxic your body is. For me, I've tried it so many times now, and it just does not go well. Like the starch just does not. I cannot lose it. I just don't understand how you think you have the same chances of living to your 90s eating only McDonald's versus eating a low fat. Like my whole family lived to their 90s. They didn't pay attention to any of this shit. What are you talking about? My family smoked to the day they died. They ate whatever the hell they wanted to. It doesn't matter. Like what the hell are you talking about? And then I got people in my family eating like the healthiest as they can, and they pass at 30. It's not like there's no relevance to it at all. Like you might want to eat this way so you're not as heavy body and overloaded, and so you're lighter and you can function better. But the idea that you're changing your lifespan by any of this is nuts. Latchkey isn't small, and it clearly is working for him. There's another example: 6'3" and like 310 pounds or something like that when he gets started. For everyone doubting sugar fasting for heavy people, I have so many clients that I coached through juice cleansing that dropped weight like a brick. They essentially were sugar fasting via the fruit. Yep, you really have to knuckle down this. I know this is different than the message that I spread on most of my channel. I realized that. I was just making excuses. And honestly, when I really looked back at like some of my thoughts and like my photographs, the reason I switched over to starch was because my ex, her kid, was stealing all of my fruit and I got tired of dealing with it. So I had to switch to something that I could actually eat, which was starch that he couldn't eat raw, which even sometimes then he would too. Well, that's just an appeal to personal experience. No, it isn't. People die all over like, I don't know why you think that you can change your lifespan with this stuff. One diet increased chances of all-cause mortality, one doesn't. That's just not true at all. McDougall died at what, 77? Nobody else that's eating meat has died at 77. They all die before that. The only people taking advance from you should be those that weigh more than you, which aren't much. Oh, okay. Yeah. It's like taking advice from a broke guy for financial advice. What are we doing? Okay. Well, then leave. No one told you to get on here. Fruit is too annoying to prevent from spoiling. Starch you stack up and it's dry and unspoilable. Yeah, I agree. It is much better for that. And that's why it was used for people who were getting around, like when you were traveling. If you're traveling on the road, like if you're going from the South America up to North America and you need something reliable, starch is perfect for that. What the fuck? Yeah, I mean, the general, why are you on here? Go away. Also takes up lots of space. Fruit does. Yeah, it does. 77 is above average. Life. Okay. All right. Fine. You win. Eating nothing but bananas is going to change your lifespan. You're going to be 125 because you started eating bananas. Hi, Ryan. Hello. I mean, the people just, I mean, I don't understand why you think this would change life expectancy. What do you think the mechanism is that stalls weight loss with the starches? I think your body just can't break down, and then it starts making it harder for you to digest food. What are your thoughts on using MCT oil to increase metabolic rate? I don't think it would be good. And to the general too, like I was 422 pounds. So if somebody wanted to not be 422 pounds, might want to listen to that. Ryan, are you high carb or vegan? 100%. Thanks. I have been vegan because when I was eating meat, my body was really struggling with it. Dr. McDougall died in his sleep from the 2 clot shots he got, like others I used to know who also died in their sleep. Yeah, that's true. Like the Asians are skinny eating rice. Yeah, but they've always been skinny. They were never like coming from a 300-pound weight, down to whatever. I never made that claim. You're straw manning me. No, I'm not. You're trying to say that changing your diet is going to somehow change your life expectancy. Ray Peat spoke against starches. His studies were eye-opening. I have it a few times a week. Yeah, he definitely spoke out against it. But potatoes is the only one that seemed to be immune to. They don't turn to paste like everything else. Destiny Debate Bros in the chat. Starches can't fully digest. You need enzymatic input. You also need some microbiota to break down the resistant starch. You have the enzymes for that. Starch is hardworking. Yeah. Fruit is the best for digestion, but always have to stock up like in a half hour. I'm going to the morning market to buy more. Yeah, I mean, pretty much every day you got to stock up on it. But I mean, things like bananas, mangoes, and a couple others actually will ripen up. Like watermelon, melons, to my knowledge, don't really ripen after you pick them. The issue with starch is that it's 100% glucose. Fruit is half fructose, which revs the metabolism more. I haven't actually found that to be true. Matter of fact, I get more of a heat burn from glucose than I do with fructose. But I guess in some ways it does increase the metabolism. Ryan, you look super young. Are you 40 yet? I'm 56 and kicking ass. Naturally, no drugs, supplements. Yeah, I'm 40, actually 45 in a couple months. Been eating a lot of mangoes. I just bought 30 mangoes today. Walked over to Whole Foods. That's another wonderful thing too, is like I got to walk everywhere. It's like saying using a seatbelt doesn't reduce your risk of death because some people die with seatbelt on. That is hardly the same. How can you compare those two? Like one's being ejected out of a car. I don't know how you can compare those two, but I mean, if you need to, go for it. Yeah. So some of these comments. The benefit of fructose over, I think, is from not increasing insulin as much. Yeah, I do think that starch does, and the insulin load does play a huge role. I think that plays a huge role with people. And again, like you're going to be much more insulin sensitive if you're like the Asian person that somebody used as an example who's never been overweight, always eating the exact same way that they always eat. They're not going to have those issues. I mean, if you really think about it, bodybuilders use IGF-1 to, get size when they're, in the off season. So you really have to look at insulin as very anabolic. And that is that. Anyway, that is my video that I'm too fat to actually be making. According to that guy. Yes, that's part of it. Yeah. I mean, insulin is definitely always a factor with everything. So I wonder if you ate starch alongside fructose, it blunts insulin. It does not. Trust me, watch my videos. You have, I know you have. It does not. It just doesn't. I've tried it. I've tried every variation of starch. It just does not. Other than potatoes, I do lose with potatoes, but just not as fast as just with fruit. How bigger do you think would you be if you were keto? If some of these starches are problematic, I wouldn't want to try keto anymore. When I was keto, I was smaller. It was just after my liver and my kidneys just started failing is when the weight started piling on. And fructose goes straight to the liver, so promotes satiety. Liver is the second brain. Yeah, that's true. Have you tried Ray Pete's juiced potato recipe? I have not. Laugh loud. Yeah, come back only when you're shredded. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Starch alongside fruit slows the fruit digestion down. It would do that, and it would. I can only imagine it would be a gas bomb. I'd imagine you'd be farting like crazy. I mean, it's just different. It's just that different digestion speed. I don't know why you do it, but I actually do know a few people who do that, and they're fine. I know a few people who can just eat whatever the hell they want to, and it just digests. Confused about what you're saying. If a 65-year-old man dies of lung cancer from smoking, he would not have lived longer if he chose not to smoke. That was never the option. He smoked. Like people, like that's just the option. He smoked, so it isn't going to change anything. And I don't know that if he didn't smoke, that would have changed the outcome either. I truly don't think that we can change our death date no matter what we do. I just don't. I mean, people, you don't have to agree with me, but you don't all have to fight with me about it either. I'm not, like it's ridiculous. It's just, like, that's what you did. So you knew, it was known that you were going to do that before you got here. And that's what you did. You carried out the plan. It's just my thoughts on it. Oh yeah, if you had health and liver problems, etc., that might differentiate you from some better starch responders. There must be a lot of people who don't respond well to starch. Look at how many people did well on Durian Riders. Look how many people did well on Durian Riders' plan until he added starch in. Like I met him, to my remembrance, before he was doing the day that I met him, he had eaten 72 bananas and I forget how many dates that day. And the guy was a rail. So, but then he started doing this raw till 4 thing after Freely decided to eat potatoes. And, everybody that started doing it afterwards, that's when those videos started coming out about how their stuff doesn't work. I don't know. I feel like you have to get to a certain weight, a certain insulin sensitivity to be able to actually digest or like have starch as a plan. Now I'm not fighting with your opinion. Nah, it's a weird opinion. Laugh loud without any. Oh God, citing. Oh my God, we're citing science. Oh, okay. You can take your science and go away with it. Oh man, the science stuff, nuts. I did Harley and Freely plan. I gained weight so fast about 12 years ago. Never again. Yeah, there's something about that plan that just makes people gain weight. But when they were just doing the raw vegan, they were fine. I mean, science. to back it up, but yes, interesting. The world operated just fine without science. People need a report now, or a scientific report now, to tell them just to like drink water. It's nuts. People are so dependent on this stuff. It's like force fed down their head now. Durian says the fruit doesn't keep him satiated for longer times. Stomach feels empty right away, so decided to include starch. I have to agree. With him. Again, I mean, it does. It empties so fast because it doesn't take hardly anything to digest. I gained 30 pounds raw till 4. Amen. I'm not sure what that's for, but yeah. Yeah. Laugh out loud. I don't like science. Okay. You're like at the point of annoyance. I was forcing dinner, pasta, rice, potatoes. What has science actually proven ever that hasn't been disproven like 3 days later? Whoever's making the most money off of science is always the beneficiary of science and is the one always paying for it. They were originally raw and added starch because they wanted some meat back on their bones. But it messed their clients who had weight to lose. That is exactly true. That's why I think Freely was always telling people to go fruit or root themselves, and mostly fruit. Pray to science 4 times a day. Yeah. Science stuff. Science has saved no one. You gotta be kidding me. You think vaccines is saving people? Are you wearing a mask while doing this? You know, I saw people swimming the other day with masks on. It's ridiculous. Clean water, saying okay. I mean, it doesn't take science to boil some water. You can just boil it. Your opinion is interesting. It's quite a freeing one. I've got back to eating whatever vegan makes me happier. Yeah. Oh, these people with science. People treat science as their God now. It's ridiculous. All right. I think I'm going to get out of here. But that is my video. Again, one that I'm too obese to be making. But I don't know what else to say about it. As far as you're a conspiracy theorist, what conspiracy hasn't been proven true? Tell me. Swimming with masks on, classical blue pills. Oh, it's nuts. It's nuts. I couldn't believe it. You know, it's just nuts with some of this stuff. Is your email in your description? I could just type it in here. If I could see the keyword. Yeah, there it is. That is the email. Thanks. Yeah, if you can't get it off of here, it's in my about. Earth is flat. At least you know that much. Good. Thanks for the time. My doctor, cardiologist, vegan, exercise daily, epitome of health, died 2 days ago without warning. Yeah. Science can't prove that one, right? You think that it's not proven? What is proven? You think that it is not proven? Upvotes for conspiracy theorist. Most come true. Thanks, mine too. Okay.